Hello folks, welcome to the garage. We're about to embark on a brand new project and I'm glad to have you guys here. First of all, I'm going to say yes, this was somewhat inspired by Grind Hard Plumbing Co. On YouTube. However, I've always wanted to build a unique track vehicle. And yes, for those of you new to the channel, we do have a Supra that we race at the track, but I wanted something that I could push the car at the track. So we had two criteria for what we needed for an engine. First one being, had to be cheap. Second one, it had to have reverse. That way we could back up away from the car. And which leads us to this. This is our 2001 to 2005-ish 660 Raptor, Yamaha 660 Raptor. The story behind this was it had been in a fire. Something with the fuel line popped off when it backfired and it caught the upper half on fire. So a lot of the electrical is burnt. The carburetors look like they're burnt and need to be replaced. Some of the throttle linkages, some of like the higher up electronics that we're not really going to need for this project. But the main thing is that the engine and the crankcase and all the clutch stuff in the bottom, that looks like it's going to be fine. Now my knowledge on ATVs is pretty limited. So when I looked at this, I seen two carburetors and then I seen two exhausts coming from the engine. I was like, I thought these were single cylinder engines, and then I read into it, and yes, it is a single cylinder, but it's a 5-valve single cylinder engine, so it's got 3 intake valves, 2 exhaust valves, 2 carburetors, and then 2 exhaust pipes that merge into one. It's kind of a weird setup, but we're gonna have to simplify it to put it in our cart. We'll still run the 2 carbs, 2 pipes, but now I never intended to get a Jeep because Grind Hard Plumbing Co., they already did a Jeep, but the fact that this one was free, I couldn't really pass up that offer. My first choice of vehicle would have been, there's an F-150 truck that they have out. That would have been neat to build, but this is gonna work just fine. It's already been lifted by the previous owners, just with some self-tapping screws and some pipe and stuff. All in here. Let's see if we can, yeah, here's the lift. It's on some door hinges down here on the bottom. Some plates that are booger welded. I mean, I probably would have broke this if I would have took it for a ride. There's even a hose clamp down here on something. That looks like the axle hose clamped on. Oh wow, this was actually never pink. I just realized that this was black once upon a time. Or blue. It was most likely blue. Oh, okay, well, now that the pink was just a paint job, we can paint it whatever color we want. We're gonna work on getting this engine out so we can test fit it up in the PowerWheels. That's different, having the engine oil external to the engine. Usually it's like down in the crankcase, but this probably has a pump in it that runs off a chain somewhere that pushes it elsewhere, which is pretty cool actually. If that's any indication of anything, a bunch of metal on the screen it looks like. Who knows, maybe we got a junked motor. So that wasn't bad to pull out. It's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. We are gonna have to stretch this Jeep for sure because I'm sitting in it right now and it's pretty uncomfortable. So we're gonna stretch it out a little bit. I thought about using the wheels and tires off this, but I think I'm just gonna go with that go-kart assembly. I guess I should have known that it was gonna be this big. It is a 600cc. It's a 660cc engine that makes like 30 something horsepower. We needed to push our cars. So we're probably going to strip this down next and try and put the engine somewhere close to where it wants to go. Not really left with much, but it gives you an idea of actually how big this engine is compared to what to put it into. So I'm just looking at this like, what size of wheels do I want to put on here? The quads are like, they're 20 inch in the back and then even bigger in the front. And that's way too big considering this thing will never see like off-road use. It's mainly going to be like tarmac stuff. So I was thinking the width of this fender is like 13.5 inches at the bottom here. And you probably can't tuck too much more in there, but I'm thinking like a 13-inch wheel. Because our frame is going to be static, there's not going to be any suspension movement. We can tuck it in as tight as we want, and then that's where it's going to stay. And then the same in the front. I think a 13 is going to be great. So we'll probably end up going with like a 6-inch rim and a 13-inch tire or a 12-inch tire, something like that. And then I had to find out what length of axle I want in the back so I can figure out kind of what I need to order. So from the fender to fender is 26 inches. When I go to buy it, I'm gonna have to factor in the offset of the wheels, the length of the hubs and how far they slip on, and how wide the tires are. But it's 26 to both sides, and the front is gonna be tubed by itself also. So I'm thinking like dual frame rails out of square tubing, square pipe tubing, I don't know. And then but like 1 inch by 2 inch, like a 1/8 inch thick or something maybe. I'm not really too concerned about how heavy it is. I just need it to be strong because we want to push cars with it. And then maybe build all the accessories in like 1 inch tubing. So like anything else that we need to build off it, we'll build it in 1 inch. But we do want to extend this probably 8 inches in the middle here. It's probably going to be the easiest spot to extend it. Or right behind this, where it's just flat and you can connect it afterwards. And then we might have to extend the front actually a bit right here to make room for the engine also. I'm gonna pull this off so we can pull the electronics out of it and start with a bare shell anyways. I'm covered in blue stuff. Probably all over my face and my glasses too. Probably, yeah. That's from cutting up all that blue plastic. We're making headway though. We got a big hole cut here. And I mean, it almost fits around the engine, but not quite. So I gotta do a little more trimming. So I'm looking at this here. Just by looking at it, we're definitely gonna have to have the engine sticking out way up in the top, because that would be way too high off the ground, I think, for what size of wheels we want on it, because 13-inch wheels would only come actually, that's not bad. But, I mean, the engine still has to go a little bit higher because the engine can't be on the ground. But it can be close. And it has to go back a bit more because I really do want to run this. Where did I put it? Oh, this. I really do want to run this front grille again in the front. We're definitely closer to what we need here now. It definitely needs to go up a little bit higher because the exhaust is going to exit like right here behind this piece. But on the engine side, lots of room for the starter. We might have to widen this out. I just cut it like as little out of it as I could. That way I can just add it back. Like you can't add it back later, you can cut more out, but that's kind of where we're at right now. I can only imagine how much blue stuff is on my face. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should do for this, please leave it down below. I think I'm gonna go with square and then round. Let me know how you feel on that. I'm gonna go inside right now. I'm gonna order that axle, some bearings, some sprockets, and stuff like that so we can get started on this thing. And I'll probably pick up some tubing tomorrow and we'll start on the chassis part of it because we kind of know where we're at here. And yeah, make sure you like the video and hit subscribe if you want to see more, guys. This is gonna be our new pit vehicle. I mean, it's a long way from a pit vehicle now, but it's good to tinker around with stuff. Make sure you get out in the garage, guys. Peace easy. Get that fee. Gross. It's snowing again, too, in Canadian land. Worst April Fool's joke ever.